You're still watching Ways. Now, today is the United Nations General Assembly has designated November 25 as the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. The premise of the day is to raise awareness of the fact that women around the world are subject to rape, domestic violence, and other forms of violence. One of the aims of the day is to highlight that the scale and true nature of the issues is often hidden. International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women is an occasion for governments, international organizations, and non-governmental organizations to raise public awareness of violence against women, and it has been observed on November 25th each year since 2000. All right, so violence. I saw a post, and I think I shared it to the group this afternoon, where a young lady was badly battered by her fiance.
Yeah.
And she then goes on to say, in fact, I was going to just change the topic of conversation today to that, but you know what? I think we've overflogged it in different ways. But she then goes on to say that she chose him, she loves him, and she's going to go ahead with the marriage. I mean, it's so stupid how women think things will change. They always say that when a man introduces himself to you the first time, or any human being, when they introduce themselves to you the first time, believe them, right? How can someone batter you so much? I mean, I don't know if you saw that picture. It was horrible. And yet she says, oh, I chose him and I'm going ahead with the marriage. And you keep going on and on and on about violence. So sometimes it just beats my imagination. I think some of these women actually deserve to be beaten.
No,
because why would you? Why?
I wouldn't say that. I think
why would you put yourself like there is absolutely nothing that will make any man touch me and I'll stay in that relationship, not to talk about marriage.
Because of the level of exposure you have and your awareness of yourself and your value.
A lot of people are victims and they are not even aware of it. It will shock you how the mind is conditioned to believe that there is no hope, and people hold on to that and it becomes true for them. It will shock you. There's so many people who are under that bondage where they genuinely come to believe
like they deserve
that
it.
They either deserve it or there's no hope for them to be able to overcome abuse. So they continue to attract abuse one way or the other. Some of us are able to talk about it and not be able to comprehend it because we have not found ourselves in that state where all you have come to believe is that this is your destiny, this is all that life has to offer you. So a lot of people, and it's going to take a process, the same process that brought them to that state where they are victims, they can't help themselves. It's going to take a process to get them out of that conditioning of the mind to know that you are valuable and you are not deserving of abuse in whatever form it comes.
I think well said, Norma. So it doesn't make them stupid. It just means that there is a level of growth.
I've seen
and becoming
educated women conditioned to believe that they are worthless and they're nothing. It's a very, very sensitive issue for me because, having dealt a little bit with low self, I can't say in the abuse form, but just a little bit of low self-esteem. I know how it makes you feel. Trust me, there are people that married. Exactly, there are people that have died. Believing that is their lot.
Anybody that knows what's her name, a miracle unique or whatever that's her name, you better go and warn her.
It's going
because somebody has not even married you yet, and the person has landed you in the hospital.
It's going to take a lot of therapy to get
yes.
her to that place where she knows that she's deserving of more, and she will walk away from that relationship.
I hope so.
True.
What did we find in the news?
All right, so I'm heading to the House of Representatives where they are talking about youth-related matters. Obviously, they were having, during the plenary, the issue of crystal meth came up, young people and drugs and everything. So they are crying out that it is a case that needs to be treated with urgency because a lot of Nigerian youths, globally, but a lot of youths are taking this silently, and the parents and the families don't even know. And out of everyone taking it, 75% it has such gigantic negative effect on them. So they are calling out for, rules on arresting these people, that NDLEA should fish out the people manufacturing it and bringing it into the country. Because crystal meth is like the hardest, well, to my knowledge, the hardest version of this drugs, and what they call it, loud, or what is it called? So yeah, and I definitely support them. I think this is one of the valid discussions that I've heard them have in a long time, that the crystal meth or whatever, something should be done to just put a hold on these things, because the number of people depending on these drugs for happiness and for whatever good feeling or good time they want to have, especially in the entertainment industry, it's a crazy crowd.
Addiction is a big deal, honestly.
Sanzi. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Addiction is a big deal, and in all honesty, where we are right now, we are just how do I even explain it? And it's not even just amongst the young people, amongst even our older generation. A lot of them do drugs. A lot of them do drugs. A lot of our celebrities, a lot of our politicians, a lot of our leaders do drugs.
So no one can caution the other.
Do you understand? So it's actually something that it's going to be very difficult to actually put a rein on it, because even the person talking to you is on drugs. The person governing you, the person, So, and this drug addiction, or this drug, dependency, is coming from something a lot more deeper, right? And until we start to be real with ourselves and address those situations from the root, we are just scratching the surface. Because even if you say don't do drugs tomorrow, because if something always tells you, like, no matter what I go through, I have never ever, it has never crossed my mind.
I don't depend on it.
You don't get my point. So that's what I'm saying. So because there's a solid foundation. No, it's not about trying. It's not even about trying. So it's the thing about, when you feel like you're running away from something, right? So no matter how much I want to run away from something, I have not been moved. But a lot of people, right, are just people that are very, very, first of all, insecure, and a lot of times they try to find comfort, they try to find solace in this kind of drugs and all of those things. So how do we even solve the problem? We have to go very, very deep. It's not even just saying, tell them to stop whatever. It's not going to work that way.
Well, even recently, I discovered that in the East, that there's a huge factory, as in they're now growing this, what do they call it? Mkpuru Mmiri.
Yeah, that's the popular name.
Yeah, crystal meth, right? So they're now growing it. They have, what will I call it? Is it a farm? Is it a factory or whatever?
It's a big deal.
It's being grown internally now. So it's not even a case of bringing it into the country.
It's like local production.
We now have local production in the East, and I hear that it has taken over all of our most of our young people down in the Southeast.
Talking about drugs, because the story Maury was supposed to take, I saw it this afternoon, where a young man was arrested at the Abuja airport. He was carrying, I think about
some kilograms
of cocaine, rather, worth, I'm trying to pull up the story, is loading very slowly, but he was carrying cocaine worth billions at the airport in Abuja, right? So this drug issue that we're having is very, very big.
It's just huge.
Hold on. The thing about people still do that kind of crazy thing at this point in time.
Yes,
like, do you love your life?
They do. He was carrying drugs at the that's it. About 2.7 billion worth of cocaine. He was arrested at the airport, intercepted
Was he the one that hid it in the toilet?
No, they were just, you will see them wraps like that. They were literally packing it. I don't know how he hid it, but if you see the video, they were literally packing that thing into a bag.
Wow, such confidence.
I'm telling you, 2.7 billion worth of cocaine. So
and you want to pass through airport like that?
We are working on a keg of gunpowder as it relates to drugs in this country. Everywhere you go, if you go outside now, you want to hang out in Lagos, on the street, you see those boys asking you, madam, you want loud? Madam, you want loud? So it is all over, it's around us, it's within us, it's everywhere.
It's a very, unfortunate situation, and something needs to be done as quickly as possible.
No, let's move on. What's your story?
Mine is we're going all the way to China. Oh, sorry, South Africa.
Okay.
I'm the one going to China.
The other part of Africa where a new COVID-19 variant has been discovered. So the story goes that scientists in South Africa on Thursday said they had detected a new COVID-19 variant with multiple mutations, blaming it for the surge in infection numbers. Unfortunately, they've discovered this, and they say that it has been detected in Botswana and Hong Kong among travelers who, of course, moved from South Africa. And this is becoming a very, very serious problem because this variant, they say, it spreads even faster than the Delta variant, and daily infections have shot up to more than 1,200 cases since Wednesday, from earlier month, hundreds in the earlier month.
COVID, I beg you.
I have a question.
Okay, sorry, before your question, the concern for me is that these different variants, it's like it's becoming how do you even fight this COVID since it shows up in different forms?
It is well. Let's move on. We don't have time. Thanks, you have a comment. I want you to take that comment. North Korea sentences a man to death for smuggling Squid Game into the country. I don't know whether that game was banned in North Korea, the movie, but he smuggled it, and in North Korean, he's been sentenced to death. And
oh my goodness.
According to the reports, the man's cover was blown after 7 students were caught watching the series, which was distributed via USB flash drives. So a student who bought a drive received also a life sentence. So can you imagine? Plus the watcher and the smuggler.
Wow.
All of you. Life sentence, while 6 others who watched the show have been sentenced to 5 years of hard labor. The teachers, the school administrators have been fired and would face banishment to remote mines. These people are not
those
joking.
Mines are
North Korea. You're not joking.
In Asia,
but I wanted to quickly take that comment that she has with her.
North Korea is... well, I reserve my comments.
Reserve your comments.
Before they'll come and carry us.
They don't joke there.
Dictatorship.
Hey.
All right. This message says, my take on violence against women and domestic violence. I really have thought the abusers and the abused need to go through a healing process. Most Nigerians are traumatized since the environment doesn't pay attention to such. As a result of bottling up a lot of things, they are bound to share with people they claim to love, and thinking such people can heal such issues and accepting that's who they are. Unfortunately, depression always destroys such lots. That's Kolapo Adeni.
Yeah, I just wanted to take what he commented on the International Day. All right, we'll take a break now. When we return from the break, social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.